Yoshi!
Yes, this is indeed a real game, a ROM hack in fact. Genesis Sonic the Hedgehog games are infamously known for the immense amount of ROM hacks. Usually I'd be reluctant to cover one of these, however this mod right here is quite unique. I imagine most of you are familiar with the classic Sonic series, this blue hedgehog moving at high speeds, having to react on short notice, possibly even acting before you even know an outcome. Yoshi's Island is a complete contrast, having to carefully take in your surroundings and plan out each move you take without rush. Whilst Sonic can make a single mistake and be punished, Yoshi has an opportunity to quickly redeem errors. Yoshi in Sonic 2 is exactly what it sounds like. The original base game of Sonic 2 has little changes outside of this green level design remains the same, with the exceptions of some bosses being modified to adapt to Yoshi's ability, and other objects from Yoshi's Island find their way into being hidden around levels. In this game the green dinosaur controls nearly identical to his original appearance. Tight platforming controls of the series are carried over here, and in the world of Sonic this can prove to be quite helpful. Of course, while Sonic lacks this precision, he has one important feature: speed. So much speed that it physically breaks the emulator's graphics. Yoshi here can achieve this with speed boosts and well-placed ground pounds. Overall, Yoshi is able to fit into the world of Sonic quite well with his abilities to manipulate the levels to his own advantage. Visually this game is pretty good. Most Genesis games are usually showcasing darker themes, even the original Sonic the Hedgehog. This game opts for a bright vibrant colors which last through grassy plains, dank caverns and even literal oil plants. Level progression feels great with difficulty slowly increasing throughout the game, although worth noting is the idea that due to this steady curve the player's ability will also gradually increase while playing the game. New mechanics are introduced through each zone, with swinging planks in Hilltop, floating panels in Oil Ocean and Casino Night being a physical casino. This variety allows for a much more enjoyable experience over long periods of gameplay, and with the addition of Yoshi's some of these set pieces can be tackled in completely new ways. Well, to be honest, I just mean you can flutter jump to a platform instead of landing on it. But this action right here just gives me more reason to exist. Some zones will share set pieces such as tubes and loops which Yoshi has easily adapted to. However, one thing consistent between every zone is the amount of secret areas in each stage, as well as entirely new paths which only add replayability to the entire game. Each zone consists of 2 acts until the final 4. The first act of each zone ends with a goal sign with Robotnik's face on it. It's a real shame to remove this image upon level completion. However, at the end of each zone you'll have a chance to fight the Doctor himself. Yoshi in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 adjusts some boss designs to allow for Yoshi to combat them by replenishing eggs. Although the ground pound offers for an alternative to defeat Robotnik, there's not really too much to say about these bosses. The music that backs them up is quite enjoyable. In fact, I believe every song from the game has a charm to it. The music of Sonic the One felt quite bland to me, and given how long each zone lasted this could cause some strain on the player. With Sonic 2 I don't feel this is an issue like the original game. The fact my ears don't physically bleed by the end of Metropolis is quite a feat, especially given everything this zone throws at you over 3 acts. Granted, the ability to play with Yoshi's platforming ability makes this stage a lot more tolerable over a playthrough with Sonic, although the level takes quite the time commitment without his speed. Eventually you'll make your way to the boss of this level, and without the spinball you're not going to have too much fun. Luckily, the abuse of the Yoshi's Island hit and death mechanics allows for the player to slowly progress through the boss and eventually end it. The next stage is Sky Chase, now piloted by Baby Mario. In this zone we get a plane to ride through hordes of enemies, where moving Yoshi along the X-axis manipulates the plane position. Moving across the Y-axis will also affect plane movement. Unlike all other Sonic stages, this is a simple auto-scrolling level. Near the end, the Wing Fortress will pass by in the background. Shortly after passing, you'll pass a final stretch on the air before making your way to this level. This stage is a stretch of platforming which tests the player's ability with Sonic's movement, so how about we abuse Yoshi instead? Overall, this stage is pretty easy with Green Dealer Bean. However, one thing that really shivers me timbers is the boss. Playing as Sonic will mean using the 3 platforms that circle the room to reach the laser beam. As Yoshi, an infinite amount of these will spawn as Yoshi uses them to replenish eggs. Eventually you'll take down the machine and be on the final stage, Death Egg. First off is Silver Sonic, being relatively easy to defeat, however a little tedious when having to use Yoshi's ground pound to register hits. Upon defeating Egg Sonic, the player proceeds to chase the egg through a hallway before arriving at the final boss of the game. The final step is the Death Egg robot. From what I've played, the general strategy appears to be manipulating the bots to spawn egg bombs before using them as ammunition to fire back. I say this like actual strategy is in this ROM hack. So eventually you avoid enough attacks, get enough eggs and defeat the boss before casually strolling through the iconic exploding hallway. And what follows in this unfinished build of the game is the greatest thing I have ever been through. And that was Yoshi the Echidna in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. We did it. Overall, I adore this mod, as well as the original game. The build played in this video isn't complete, but I'd like to show my thanks to this outstanding mod and my appreciates to the creator. Not only are all the sound effects, visuals and core mechanics of Yoshi perfect, this is a mod of Sonic 2. You actually made this.